broadcasting through the depths of outer space.
Hello, I'm alive. I don't know what's going on.
By your command.
Damn you all to hell!
This is the Sci-Fi Podcast. This is the Solo One Sci-Fi Podcast. I think it's episode 33 this week. I'm Michael Ball, Martin Fowler, and we are here once again to talk to you about sci-fi and just basically chat up with the world and see how you're all doing. Martin, how are you?
I'm gonna get my new carpets on Monday.
Oh, this has been hanging over you for a while.
I'm now moving into phase 2 of the project, yeah.
It's like Star Trek Phase 2. It's Martin Fowler, Phase 2.
Yes, yeah, I'm moving into phase 2, and then be glad when I get to phase 3.
Well, I just added some reverb on me saying Martin Fowler, so that will sound more powerful and more iconic when you listen back to this, just to show how important a factor it is with Martin's carpet conundrums, shall we say?
Yes, the carpet conundrums.
The carpet conundrums. Well, it's good to hear from you. Thanks for joining me again for another show.
Yes.
What's been going on my end? Nothing major. I've finally got my American phone, which is all set up and looks
yes,
great.
I saw the pictures of it. Yes,
it's really cool. So I'm really pleased about that. And my in-laws came down on the Saturday and they wanted to go for a pub grub, which I'm not very comfortable with. So we met them at the local pub, which is sort of outside, and there's quite a few people. So we decided to sort of, we didn't actually eat anything there. We just sort of talked to them for about an hour, a couple of hours, because we've not seen them for about 3 or 4 months. So you can understand that you want to see them. I didn't feel comfortable there myself, but in the end, it was okay. But of course, in the next few weeks or a couple of weeks, masks are now going to be required in all shops, which is going to be interesting. But of course, not in pubs, because otherwise, if you had a mask, how could you swig your pint of lager? How do you feel about all that? Do you think it's too little, too late, or? I
think it's too late. I think I just think they should have been made conditional at the beginning.
Yeah,
I'm fed up of the anti-vaxxers and the mask people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I saw some on news. This guy phoned this radio station up the other day, LBC, and he was going, they're taking his liberties away and his right of expression and that. And I'm sat there thinking, just wear the bloody mask. You know, just wear the bloody mask. It's really that simple.
Well,
you know?
it's also you're helping out other people. You see, you've got to get the mind's eye that if you wear the mask and the other person wears the mask, you're a lot safer. It's a two-way thing. You see?
Well, they're doing it now because if they can get a system in place before September, when flu virus is everywhere,
yeah,
that there won't be a second spike. That's what they're trying to do. They should have acted on this a lot quicker, but it's a learning curve, isn't it? So
yeah.
they're trying to prepare to get us all psychologically used to it, But of
course, it could be a psychological element.
There's a secret government agenda behind it all. You know what I mean?
Oh well, I mean, you never know my thing is you don't know half of what goes on in the world. I mean, the thing is though, I've been thinking that if everyone wears masks, then surely people like burglars and criminals can go into shops and stuff and steal stuff, and because their faces are a lot more hidden anyway because of this other thing, it could actually increase antisocial behaviour. I would have thought. I don't know. Well,
I met a female friend on Sunday, and I spent the day with her, and went for coffee, and we sat outside this pub. We were only people in there. Well, we sat outside, and we were having a discussion. It's like, well, the interesting. How are people going to meet each other now with masks on?
Yeah, strange, isn't it?
How are you going to go chat somebody up at the bar with a mask on?
Yeah, I hadn't thought about flirting with someone with a mask.
Well, how are you going to do the dance? Do you wear a mask?
Oh God, don't. No, not.
Well, I'm just saying.
No.
Nightclubs are not open until Christmas, apparently.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean,
yes. I mean, I don't go clubbing obviously because I'm too old now.
No,
but I mean,
me too.
If I was a young 20-year-old putting it out and about out there like a young whippersnapper, how are you going to go out and meet people when you've got to wear a mask.
Yeah.
I mean, I did have this discussion with my friend. It's just the same thing. It's how do you meet? So I mean, how do you go about it?
I know.
I
I remember in my early days, I used to go clubbing and pubbing and stuff.
Yeah,
I used to go to Richmond upon Thames and Kingston. They were my two local areas, and there was some great. There's a wine bar in Richmond called Henry's, and that was a good place I used to go. And it was just because Richmond's a bit posh, but it had some. Good places to go and stuff. But yeah,
I went to Big Lil Saloon Bar in Leeds City Centre, and when you were, it was rough as anything.
But you didn't care at the time.
And there were fights outside every Friday night.
Yeah, I used to see those. Yeah.
They had cowboy saloon doors when you walked in.
Oh,
it was a dump.
Sounds corny as hell.
Oh no, it was great. Old staff used to dress up as cowboys. Seriously, I mean, it was
Leeds Cowboys. That's an interesting idea.
Big Lil Saloon Bar, yeah. Yeah, God, what a dump that was. I did go up market eventually, as I got into my 24-year-old, I started going to Digby's and places like that, the more market respectable places.
Yeah, I mean, with me, I think clubbing you can sort of do until your late 30s. Well, no, not late 30s. No, but sort of early 30s? When are you too old to go clubbing?
30s,
yeah, that's when I stopped as well. Yeah.
I couldn't. I mean, I went to an event last year, and I enjoyed it, but by 1 o'clock, I wanted to go to bed.
Yeah.
God, I'm getting old and boring.
No, well, I'm the same. Although I have to say, I had a really weird dream the other day, and it involved you. I don't normally talk about dreams.
What?
But,
What?
Yeah.
What?
No. This is the weirdest dream. Well, I met you. No. It's not. But I met you, and then what happened was you turned around and saw the back of your head, and you had a tiny ponytail.
Right.
You had a ponytail. I know, it's the strangest thing I've ever thought. And I thought, shall I tell Martin this or not?
You just don't mind my language.
Do you remember like the Rodney Trotter episode where he got the little ponytail in the back of his head? It was like, and I thought, shall I tell Martin this? I thought, no, I won't tell him. And now I've told him, and I thought, oh my God, sorry, mate. I do apologise, but I just thought how ridiculous it was that you had this tiny little ponytail. The thing is, I've not seen the back of your head. Maybe you have got a tiny ponytail.
No, I've got a bald head. I'm not saying one of them middle-aged fuckers. Yeah, because I've noticed certain people like when they're like our age,
they go.
They've got no hair. They tie all their hair back, and then
I know that's it. It's all straight back.
No, I'm not doing a BG.
No, are you not going to do a comb over like either one?
I'd just get my hair shaved off.
No. But luckily, my hair's going.
Jack.
My hair's going grey, but I've got a full head of hair, luckily, so I'm pleased about that. So, although
I've got grey hair.
I know, it's horrible, isn't it? It slowly gets grey. I know, but I mean, when it first started, I thought, shall I dye it? And then, of course, you think of people like Noel Edmonds, and I don't want to look like Noel Edmonds and stuff.
I don't want to look like a BG.
No. So I think we'd have to.
I'll have a drink now that I'm in Portsmouth walking down with you.
With a ponytail.
In white suits, in white half-mast trousers and waistcoats, walking down the front singing I'm staying alive.
With the white greedy cheesy, with the extra white teeth sort of like reflecting off and sort of like okay, let's move on from this weird subject because
yes,
sorry, I don't know how that's gone there. It's almost like science fiction talking about us in our respective lives sometimes. All right, Martin, shall we go into the news of the week? Are you ready for this? Here we go.
Yes, I've got lots of it, and I've got one that's a bit of a shocker.
I know, and I think I know which. Let's hit the jingle, but I've got some as well.
Working.
So in the Sci-Fi news. All right, let me just go into my side first, then we'll go into yours. I've heard that there is going to be a new Star Wars Clone Wars spin-off, which has just been started to be mentioned by Disney. It's going to be called The Bad Batch. It's going to be an animated series, obviously, for streaming next year. And it's, like I said, it's a spin-off. It's a confirmation of the new animated project called The Bad Batch. Comes just after a couple months after the Filoni finished up its Clone Wars saga on the streamer at 2021. We'll see the elite and experimental clones who featured in it find their way in a rapidly changing galaxy in the aftermath of the Clone War in 2021. Have you heard about that one, or is that news for you?
Yeah, I read about it the other day. The Magnificent Seven in space, or the Bad Bunch.
Yeah, so does that sound like something which might be quite good?
Sounds interesting that if they're like Robin Banks and sort of Bendit loves to survive, because the clones got treated quite nastily after when they brought in the Stormtroopers, sort of pushed them out, didn't they?
Well, I've not seen it all yet, so I'm still early
Okay.
days. But I mean, I've got some ideas about what was going on from what I've seen in the films. What news have you got your end?
I don't know if you're ready for this.
Okay, well, I've got some Trek actor, sort of fan film actor news, but is that what you're talking about, or is it something different?
I don't want to destroy. I know you've been having disturbing dreams about me having a ponytail, but I don't know if you're going to handle this. I'm going to destroy your childhood in about a second.
What now? What?
Scooby-Doo.
Oh, didn't we talk about this last week? He's coming back with.
No, this is new.
Oh,
This
what
is
now?
new.
What now?
It's about Velma.
Oh, she's gonna be lesbian.
Yes, she is.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that before you said it.
Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated producer Tony Cavone
God.
confirmed Velma Dinkley was written as a gay, though they could only show so much 10 years ago. I mean, yeah, please just fuck off, right?
Oh,
I mean,
no, listen, I'll tell you what. The world's... I don't know. The lights are on, but nobody's home. I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Right,
Oh,
Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated confirmed a long-standing fame about that the show's incarnation of classic Scooby-Doo character Velma, in fact, was written as a gay woman.
That's the one with the
You know.
glasses, isn't it? And the short brown
Poor
hair.
Velma.
Oh,
Well,
well...
I'm not bothered. I mean, there's nothing wrong with
No,
it. I'm not
but it's
saying
just-
that,
it's
but
just-
I mean, it's just so fucking predictable.
Yeah,
and,
well, as you started
and-
saying that, I mean, I beat you to it. I mean, I didn't read the point.
You
but I
knew,
just-
didn't you?
Well, yeah, because
did.
I knew what people are thinking, that's what they're going to do. Oh,
Well, it is.
ridiculous.
Incorporated solved. One commenter decried the post on the ground that Mystery Incorporated saw Velma in a relationship with Shaggy Rogers. Right. Well, I'm not making this up.
Oh.
Well, cited previous revelations about the show pertaining to how Velma and Marcy are ostensibly both bisexual.
Bisexual, I was about to say. Yeah.
There were plans for Velma to break up with Shaggy. It is at this point that Savon chimed in. So it looks like this. I've said before, but Incorporated. I've said this before, but Velma in Mystery Incorporated is not bi. She's gay. The producer wrote, "We always planned on Velma acting a little off and out of character while she was dating Shaggy because that relationship was wrong for her."
Oh.
She had spoken difficulty with the wife. I mean, for fuck's sake,
Oh.
it's a kid's cartoon.
I know. I mean, this is why.
Does it fucking
No,
matter?
this is why I don't. I mean, I'm getting so removed from sort of current society in many ways.
Scooby
And it's
fucking Doo.
Scooby-Doo. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
I mean, did you ever think that Shaggy would?
No, I thought he was just a stoner. He was
Did
just
you
a
ever think Shaggy was shagging
Scooby.
Velma?
No, I thought he was shacking Scooby, but there we go.
That's what I thought. Yes, you know,
No
I
wonder
mean, for
no wonder-
fuck's sake,
No wonder the dog always looks.
sorry, I'm
No wonder
sorry.
the dog always looks so confused.
Scooby snaps. I did fancy Daphne. I mean,
Oh God!
yeah.
He just
I
wanted
mean,
to see Daphne and Thelma together, and I don't know. Let's not go there.
like Velma. I mean, I'm not bothered if
It's a bloody cartoon.
bothered me if she's a, but I grew up on Scooby-Doo and
Yeah,
I
I know.
never really thought
Yeah.
about Shaggy giving Velma one, and I thought Fred were at it with, you know.
Yeah,
with,
Fred was like he was a.
But Fred's a wanker anyway.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
He was a total top pot.
He was a
but
bit.
He never changed that fucking jumper.
I know. Well, I know. That's it. They always. Well, I mean, it's you know, somebody was joking. How come cartoons they never change their jumpers? Why have they got such unhygienic clothes? You know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. And that's
I,
the
I don't know if you've ever seen that series Supernatural.
no.
Well, it's them, the two brothers. I've only followed it so far. I mean, there's 15 seasons of it. It's just 20 odd episodes each season. It's good. But they did an episode where they both got transported into Scooby-Doo, and one of them tried it on with Daphne.
Okay.
I honestly, seriously, Supernatural meets Scooby-Doo. It's all, they're in the cartoon for 1 hour, and Velma fancies one at Brothers. So I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I just never really put any sexual overtones to Scooby-Doo.
It wasn't
really.
about that. It was a kiddie show about some stupid dog talking and finding the mystery. No, I just don't understand what's going on. This is why I'm delving more and more into old. But it's like they're ruining old stuff. I mean, not only the world is turned upside down.
Who cares if Thelma's a lesbian or not? I mean, I'm watching Scooby Bloody
Doo. I don't care about what she does. I don't care what she does when she turns the lights off.
Sexuality. If she wants to bang Daphne, get her, go ahead with it. I just want to watch Scooby fucking do and see who the villain is.
I think it's wishful thinking. I get these blokes. They just want to sort of like see it. They want to see a cartoon with them getting off with each other. That's what I reckon. That's what it's all fun.
Well, listen. There's no doubt a channel out there on a certain Pornhub which I've never been on, but there will be no doubt a Scooby Doo.
Oh, I bet somebody has. I bet someone's done that.
Well, they did a Star Trek porno thing.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
I've not seen it, no. But I don't know. It just seems to get more and more weird, the world, as we're going along. But there you go, Daphne.
Well, we live in changing times.
Yeah, I know. It's changing a bit too much in many ways for me, but...
Well, we're classed, we're like... I hate to say it, but we've become our parents.
Yeah, I certainly agree about that.
Yeah,
I certainly agree. And it's just strange how it's so gradual.
We lived in a much simpler time.
Yeah, we did. The world is not how it was when we were growing up.
This is the world is changing. This is evolution. Maybe this is what it's all about now. That's how I try to see it. That is, we're becoming more progressive, which is a good thing over the long term. So
yeah,
but I just think it's a kids' program. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, that's what it's there for. Just leave it alone. I don't know, mate. It's crazy. Well, thank you for that, and that's certainly news to share with the world. And I don't think I'm ever going to be the same again after hearing that.
Well, after Ponytails and Scooby Doo.
Well, no, it's certainly turned into a bizarre show already. So I changed the news to something else, which is a bit of sad news. I only came across this last night. I did forward it to you as well, so you're aware of it. I was very surprised. The actor, and I do apologise, his name is
Imran in it or something like that.
I had it already, but here we are. Grant Imahara.
Yeah,
Grant Imahara. Who of course was on the fan series Star Trek Continues, which we will do a show on in the future as well, because I think that'd be well worth a chat. He appeared obviously in the series. He was their version of Sulu. He was 49. He was very young. He was very good in the role, and as all the actors were in that series, the best fan series I've ever seen of anything, regardless of Star Trek, whatever.
Still is now,
and it is, and it's. I think of it. I do think of it as official Star Trek. I actually think of it. I rate it higher than official Star Trek, i.e., Discovery and Picard.
Sorry, I totally agree with you.
I've even printed off a cover with Star Trek Continues right next to Star Trek the original series. Up there on my wall, it's to me, it's official.
If you go on the website, you can download.
I know you can print. Yeah,
it's a Blu-ray. The covers.
Yeah, exactly. Other people have done the same, and of course, because they're not making money, that's a good thing. You get free Star Trek. And anyway, he passed away apparently of a brain aneurysm. He was aged 49. As far as I know, he was in his, not exactly in his prime, but he was certainly very active. And he was on some other series which I'm not aware of. He was known. I actually, because I came across it with Garrett Wang, who played Kim on Voyager. He apparently bumped into him on a plane trip. And they obviously knew of each other, and they put some photos together, and he said how so surprised about what happened, and it's really hit the community hard. It's one thing when you think of some of the older actors who naturally are going to be eventually mortality will find its way to them, but when you have someone who actually looked very young for his age, I didn't think he was in his, I thought he was in his late 30s. Late 30s he looked like. So yeah, a bit of a shock, and of course it means that one of the actors on Star Trek Continues has now passed away at a very short rate after the series finished, which only finished a couple of years ago. So yeah, I was very, very sad to hear about that, and I want to obviously give my condolences to anybody who's listening who are also aware of the actor, and what a sad state of events it is that someone's passed away at that young age. What else have you got for us that you want to share?
Have you seen Fast and Furious?
No, I've heard of it. That's the one with about 8 sequels, isn't it? It's
it's just endless amounts of movies of fast cars and.
Are they good? Do you recommend them?
Look, they're enjoyable. I've got to admit, I'm quite a fan actually. I mean, it's all bollocks. I mean, it is, but I mean, the stunts and the rest of it, it's all pretty mind-blowing. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's good fun, don't take it seriously, but now that they've done it, I mean, you've got Bond-level supervillains and all, it's all kinds of stuff going on. There's about 10 movies, I think.
Yeah.
But no, 8 movies, but they're now going into space.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how they're going to get a Ferrari up into space. Well, Elon Musk.
Because I thought it was all about car chasing or something. That's all I know
Well,
about
yeah,
it.
but they're going to be driving cars in space now, aren't they?
Well, how are they going to do that?
Well, I don't know. Hey, so Fast and Furious 9 might actually go into outer space. Well, it's all about speed for them. So obviously they're going to... One of them's a mechanical engineer, so he'll build a Ferrari that can drive around in space.
Oh, that sounds... I mean, I understand if it's like set in like 100 years in the future with a different cast or something, but if it's set in 2020...
They are going into space, yeah. Because it came very Bond-like later on. They brought in like a super villain that's been behind everything.
Right.
So it's quite good. It's worth a look. I mean, if you
I'll try the first one. I'll give the first one a watch to see if I like it.
Well, they're quite realistic. It's when you get into like episode 5, it just goes nuclear and absolutely stupid. They're just making it up as they go along, but it's good fun.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, there's one where they're all a load of cars are chasing him across this ice pack, and they're all he's in his Toretto, he's in his Mustang or whatever, and he's being chased by a nuclear submarine.
Right. Okay.
Then ask how that works. Oh, seriously, there's a nuclear submarine crashing out of water chasing after him across this river.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is science fiction in a way. It's crazy.
Okay.
So they're going into outer space. Don't know how they're going to do that, but they're doing it.
Yeah, it sounds a bit desperate if they're doing it after it's been... If it's like something which is normally has science fiction in it, but that sounds like it's just... I don't know. I like I said, I need to see at least one of these films to get an opinion of them.
Interesting. There's some Star Wars news.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back returned to #1 at the box office.
Oh,
for the
yeah.
first time in 23 years
Yeah.
because it's had limited release. Apparently, they've all been... No, there's nothing on at the cinema.
No, exactly. But I mean, I wouldn't mind going to see The Empire Strikes Back. I mean, I wouldn't go to the cinema anyway, but if I was,
I'd go see it. Yeah,
I would. I mean, it's something seeing it in the cinema. I mean, I remember seeing it in the cinema in back 1982 or whenever it was, double bill with the original, and I was blown away by it. I actually watched episode 9 yesterday for a change, just to give it another watch, and I like it every time I see it. Episode 9.
I just couldn't get into it. I tried. I'm going to give it another go, actually.
How many times have you seen it now? I've seen it 3 times.
About 3 times. But because I got Disney Plus to put it on there recently. I watched it, but I only watched about a third of it.
And don't forget to look out.
I lost interest in it. I don't know why.
And look out for the gay kiss at the end as well, of course.
What? The what?
The gay kiss in Star Wars Episode 9. I told you about this. Remember I told you about it a while ago?
Oh, God, you did. Well, who does that?
There's 2 of them one of the characters at the back when they're celebrating, and you see them 2 women kissing.
All right, well, that's fair enough.
I don't either, but I just don't like... I think it's just shoehorned in just to be politically correct. That's what I don't like. If it's something... Go on.
I had a conversation with somebody about Doctor Who. Look, I am sort of left-winging in sort of my political views. It's not a fanatic, but I believe in what should be like the right things. I won't go, but I believe that we should live in a fairer society. But somebody said to me, and they're more left-wing far more left-wing than me, they did say, and this comes from a female friend, she said to me she found Doctor Who patronising. Because what she said was, she said she understands what they're trying to do, but she finds it's very lectury. And I agree with that.
Yeah, but isn't that but that's because it's supposed to be for a family, so that's for the younger members of the audience, so that they get the messages from it. So that's part of the problem with Doctor Who, because it's got more of a family factor than other sci-fi series that we watch.
But I don't think we should be lecturing people. I think there's other ways you can go about putting the right thing in. You know, I don't think you need to do all that.
Yeah, I can concede that as well. It's getting the right kind of way of communicating stuff over, but as you say, they don't do it in a way which is very subtle.
Yeah, it's patronising,
and it can be in your face. So I can actually acknowledge that. But like I said, Doctor Who's Doctor Who. It's different than Star Trek in some ways because
yes, that's true. Yes.
I love both, but I get more out of Star Trek than I do out of Doctor Who.
But we're living in progressive times. Maybe this is the new norm now. Maybe this is it.
Well, with all what's been going on this year, the new norm is becoming abnormal, to say what it was a couple of years ago. The whole world has been turned upside down in every way.
Well, I watched that Sliders episode, where they crossed over into Flu World.
Yes, season 1, a good episode.
Yeah, I watched that.
Patient Zero. Patient Zero
that's
was.
It, yeah,
that's it.
I was sat watching it.
It's a good episode. It's good episode.
And I thought, when I watched that 20 odd years ago, I thought, well, that'll never happen.
No, and it is, yeah. That thing is, season 1, I think that was season 1 episode. Season 1 was so good in Sliders. I know we did a show featuring it. But, it is funny when you watch that because it's so science fiction, and now it looks just like it's a normal day in bloody Portsmouth or whatever. So it's, I know exactly what you mean. I'll never forget my mum saying, because she was always, I told you about this before, but I'm a big sci-fi fan, and when this pandemic came along, she said, it's all true what you said, with all those films you used to show, with all these things going on about the end of the world and stuff. Obviously she overreacted a bit, but she was really surprised how in the real world it can go to the extent that it has been over the last few months, and it's been amazing, and it's been funny that we've done the podcast during the whole thing. When we first started, this didn't exist. We started, I think it was the 16th of November, I think was our first show.
Yeah, and we're 2 years away from Soylent Green.
Yeah, I know. 2022 is Soylent Green Day.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. Just doing the show for 6 months, how the world has changed. And that's just I suppose that's life, really.
If you think about it, we're recording actual events.
Yeah, but that's what I like about it. I mean, like recently you had the episode where the guy was coming into your house and you were saying, look, I don't want to get near you. And this is the guy, I think he was reading your meter or whatever it was. And it was really quite funny because, well, it wasn't funny at the time, but it's more funny now because you were really nervous about it. So look, just keep away from me. But you're right. I mean, it's a normal reaction. I mean, I would have done the same. Like I was on Saturday when I had people around me in this pub thing, and I really didn't want to be there, but I was just being, what you're supposed to do, because obviously you've got a family coming around. Yes. And it's not against them, but it's just that it's not normal circumstance. So, I didn't want to particularly be out in a public place. But I don't know. But yeah, as I say, we do live in interesting times.
I have 2 lots of science news as well.
Oh, go for it. What do you got?
It's in the Express, even though I don't read this paper, but I did read it on Facebook. Concorde 2.0 supersonic jet with 1,700 mile per hour top speed ready for unveiling.
Well, they've actually made it.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was something which is in the works, which would be available in like 5 years' time. Oh, now that is something.
Prototype will undergo testing this year.
Oh, that sounds great. I mean, I always remember living in London. I used to live on near the runway to Heathrow. Yeah. And at 11 o'clock every morning we used to see Concorde go by, and it was so loud. It was the loudest plane in the sky.
Yeah, it used to land at Leeds on a Wednesday.
Did it? Oh, okay. So you saw it up there.
At the airport. Yeah, it used to come every couple of weeks. We'd see it flying over.
And people would say, look, it's Concorde. And it's the only plane you do that is it's Concorde. And I remember doing it. I remember when I worked at Surrey County Council, someone would actually look out the window when it flew by. It was that big a thing, even though we saw it regularly. Yeah. That's interesting. I'd love to see the design of that, see how it looks. But I'm surprised at that, because it was terrible what happened with the first Concorde. Because it was like, it went on for about 30 years. It was completely flawless. And then there was one thing that happened in France, and then the whole Concordes were all, then that's it, they were retired.
Well, the Russians built one, they called it Konkordsky.
I remember, but that never took off, literally, pardon the pun.
it was done on cheap and nasty. They had lots of problems with it. I saw this thing on Channel 4 about 8 years ago, Konkordsky.
Right.
Yeah,
and they did the same. They did the space shuttle as well, and that didn't work out either, did it?
Yeah, Snowball or something. Yeah, I remember that. It did fly. It did go into space though. Once.
But only about once. I was going to say it was very minimal, and that's it.
There was no crew on board. It was all remote control.
Yeah, it's weird that they actually went to the whole of the hassle of building it, and then they didn't follow it up.
That's been left. That's just been left to rot now. I saw a picture of it a couple of years ago. It's all there. It's just been left on one of these abandoned air bases, just left there.
Yeah, well, yeah, they do that over there sometimes. They just seem to dump stuff. But anyway, yeah, Concorde 2. Well, if you hear anything else about that, because although it's science,
I will do. Apparently, there was a nuclear blast sent star hurtling across the galaxy as well.
A what? A blasting what?
A nuclear blast sent star hurtling across the galaxy.
Oh.
A star has been sent hurtling across the galaxy after undergoing a partial supernova.
Oh my God! So, like, the force of it propelled it, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not coming near us, is it?
And there's a comet. We're going to see a comet this week.
Oh, cool.
Comet Neowise. That's the live update about object that has suddenly become visible.
Okay.
So that's the end of the world on
So
Saturday.
how come they suddenly... Yeah, that's a bit worrying. How come they weren't aware of it weeks ahead? And how come it suddenly... I mean, the thing is, if it was coming to hit us and kill us all, they would say exactly that, wouldn't they? They'd say, oh, it's suddenly become visible.
I don't think they'd tell us. I don't think they would. What's the point? Would you tell people? Would you?
Well, we could be telling them now on the podcast, couldn't we? We could be the ones that are behind the... We're the ones that are in the know, and that's it, people. This is it. Saturday, we're done.
And physicists have discovered that rotating black holes backwards serves as portals for hyperspace travel.
Where do you read all this stuff?
Well, it popped up on Facebook. Well,
that's good.
Did it, didn't they?
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, they did. I mean, like I said, I really wish that we could find a faster than light speed way of travel and stuff. That'd be so cool in the future.
Yeah, we'd only start wars if we got out there and met somewhere else. It won't be long before it were kicking off.
Yeah, well, I think our future will be something like out the Expanse. I honestly think the Expanse is actually... When does it set the Expanse?
I think it's 24th century.
Well, that'd be about right, because I think by then that sounds about right. Yeah.
Colonisation solar system would take 300-400 years, because you've got to build things, haven't you? You know, it takes time.
That's right, yeah.
And then we, by the 26th century, we should be at war with an alien race. And then invade them and give them McDonald's and rest it's shite we all have to live. Yeah. Human, welcome to the greatness of the human race.
Let's give the universe Anton Tech. That's what we should give them.
Oh God, no. No. When you put that on that
I hate Anton Tech. I hate them. I can't stand them.
Everybody wants to rumble. I did think about Predator versus Anton Tech and everybody wants to rumble video. Do you know what I mean? But we'll save that.
We can always bring back Predator versus. It's been suspended for the moment, but it's definitely not dead.
I would like to see Anton Tech get totally fucking vaporised. I'd be so happy.
Well, look, when we do it, when we come back with it at some point, we will. The first one we'll do is Anton Tech. Everyone says, it's Anton Tech. I think they're Muppets. I think they're talentless. They look like they're about 17 years old and they're about 70 years old. They're irritating and they got that cheesy smile. And I just want to give them a slap. I hate them. I've never liked them.
You should finish the show with Everybody Wants to Rumble.
What, is that a song then?
Well, they didn't. Don't you ever seen it?
No. What is it?
I think they had a number one. It's where they tried to. You remember when they were in that fucking stupid series years ago when we were growing up?
Baker Grove, man.
Yeah, that's
Baker
it.
Grove.
Yeah.
Baker
Well,
Grove.
when they left that, they became rappers, and they had a song called "Everybody Wants to Rumble."
Let me see if it. Hang on.
I will.
God.
If you watch it, you'll never be the same person ever again.
Yeah, but will it be make it the last ever podcast if we play it? Because I don't know. I mean, like I said, is it that bad?
Well, it's cringe factor.
Everybody Wants to Rumble.
I shouldn't have told you about
No,
this.
it's too late now. Everybody wants.
Well,
to
anyway,
rumble.
this is my revenge for all the Aliens musical and the bloody Predators musical and all this.
Well, no, it's a joint podcast. Everybody's hang on, everybody's on.
You won't be the same person ever again. You won't be.
Everybody's ready to. I'm trying to find it. Ready to rumble.
It's on YouTube.
I know, but I'm just typing one hand, so it makes me type slowly. Everybody's ready to rumble. Is it YS or IES? Let's have a look. Everybody's.
Anton Tech.
Type in Anton Tech here. Right.
I think they had another name actually. I don't think they were called Anton Tech. They were called something. PJ Duncan, wasn't it?
Oh, Anton Tech. Let's get ready to rumble. Is that
That's
the one?
it. Yeah.
Anton,
Go on,
let's
put it on for a second. Then.
Oh, Okay, all right. Okay, this is off the cuff. I'm fading out the background news music.
Yeah. You won't be the same ever again.
All right, okay, let's listen to this. Here we go. This is live. I've got an advert. Hang on, wait for the bloody advert to disappear. 3, 2, 1. Bagger off. Right, here we go. Here we go. By Breakfast. Okay. So it's got the opening graphic. Okay.
Yeah, they've got tracksuits on and all that, and the body popping.
Okay. Well, at the moment, it's just the web page. Just hang on.
Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready, let's get ready.
Oh my god.
Watch us wreck the mic, watch us wreck the mic, watch us wreck the mic. Psych.
Let's get ready, let's get ready.
Straight up proving we can get you
Grooving. This track is building a no hype. Watch us work the mic. Watch us work the mic. Hype. Psych.
psych.
You ready? Oh, go, because I've got the.
Let's get ready, Rumble.
And what was this for?
Well, they never released it as a song. They did say this for the release day. I think it got to #1 actually. They had an album out. Oh, I don't know. They had because a mate of mine years ago, he bought the fucking album, and we saw it in a CD collection.
Oh, why? He actually bought the CD. Why did he buy the CD?
No, well, he bought it because he like Everybody Wants to Rumble. And a friend of mine noticed it in his CD collection and said, "You should be ashamed of yourself." And four of my mates who were in the mid-20s gave such a guilt trip, he bigged it.
Oh, I don't blame him. Oh, God.
No, everybody in the room, all these like men at 24 saying, "You should be ashamed of yourself. How could you buy that?" He went, no. Yeah, well, he did. He liked them, didn't he?
Oh, God. I feel like that's
He was a
nothing.
secret Anthem Deck fan.
He must have been. Oh, my God. I bet you never talked to him again after that, did you?
Well, no, I mean, I found it funny because there were like four of my mates who were in the mid-20s. I mean, they were all shocked. They were really
never heard of this in my life.
All night long, they wouldn't let go. How can you buy that? You should be ashamed of yourself.
Hey, let's listen to some more. Hang on. In rhyme. Raw. Now, here comes draw. We play, we made the lesson. Does score. No jokes, no messing. We teach you a lesson. A state of confusion to keep you all guessing. Freaking is sweeting, investing in the mic, slamming and jamming it, you'll do what you like. Let's get ready to oh my God!
Let's get ready to rumble!
Well, we've got... No, you stop, we're going to do the whole thing now.
The cringe factor.
Well, at least we're at the end now. At least we've got... I can't believe we've got Anthony Jeff on this podcast. Oh my God.
Well, Predator's killing them sometimes. He's going to fucking mutilate them. I mean, yeah, and he's going to stick their heads on that trophy room with pride.
Oh God, it's painful. Listen to this music. Freaking and sweeties, busting the mic, slamming and jamming and do it what you like. Let's get ready to ready. Let's get ready. Let's get. Oh my God.
We are a pop culture podcast.
Oh yeah, let's get ready to rumble. Let's wreck the mic. Watch us wreck the mic. Watch us wreck the mic. Psych. Instrumental. Let's get ready to rumble.
Stop it now. Stop it. You're not going to be the same person.
You've got the minute. Let's get ready to rumble.
Go to bed tonight and this will be in your head.
Another dream about your ponytail. Let's get ready to rumble. Did you think the podcast would go this way when we first started it 8 months ago?
No. But we are a pop culture.
Yeah, we are a pop culture.
Wow.
And it says, thanks for watching. I won't give the YouTuber's name. How much long was it? Song. Let's get ready to rumble. I've never heard the song in my life. I've never heard it. No, if ever I've heard Anthem Deck come on, I've just disappeared.
I think it got #2. It did quite well.
Well, isn't this a remake? I mean, that wasn't the original. Actually, no, I have heard Let's Get Ready to Rumble, but I thought it was done by a different artist.
No, it's not Anthem Deck.
Oh, it's them. They did it.
Yeah.
Oh, so I have heard that, but I never associated
But
it
after
with
they
them.
left Biker Grove, you know, when they
Biker Grove,
sort of get a bit of popularity, with their way of screwing more money out of the public.
Oh God, that was terrible.
Like that.
Well, thank you for that. I'm sorry for any subscribers that. But it's all Martin's fault. He's the one that made me play it. So just if you want to post your complaints, he is on Twitter.
Oh yeah, blame me for it. Yeah, blame me for it. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
God. Right, I think we're done for news unless there's anything else. I think we should go on our topic of the week.
Well,
Anything?
yeah, you know where we're going, don't you?
okay.
It's the cartoon series that's been advertised. I'll leave it to you.
Oh, are you talking about the lower? You throw me now. What are you talking about? News or what?
Well, no, I thought we were going to discuss the Lower Decks.
Oh,
this
Lower
week.
Decks, yes.
Play the trailer, yes.
Oh, yeah, I can. Oh, yeah, now it's cool. I did the trailer. The trailer, which I heard the other day, apparently it was threatened to be taken off.
Yeah, I heard that.
So I need to see whether it's there, and if it is, I will play it.
But
for you.
you sent me a copy. I watched it.
Yeah, but it was on a, like I said, I don't know whether it's on there now. So let's just see if it's on there. If it is, we'll play the audio.
Yeah, but they did that with Discovery. Do you remember when they put that trailer up the first time?
Yeah, something about that.
Yeah, and I was online. I was one at first. I had to review it. I started getting thousands of it, and they blocked the video.
Oh,
it
God.
got blocked in 20 minutes. They blocked it, and the trailer was removed. And
Yeah, but we're only playing the audio.
Oh,
I mean, we were playing the audio, so actually,
no, that was for Discovery. They moved it. It was like they were testing it, you know.
Yeah. I think they did it on purpose. They pretend it's leaked. I think. Anyway, I've got the audio for this. Let's give this a play.
Okay, let's go.
And
Let's
see
go.
what you think of it. Here we go. We're doing lots of stuff today, aren't we? Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, let's let it play. I'll tap a little bit.
Captain's
Get
log.
ready to rumble.
Shout out.
Stardate 57436.2. First contact is a delicate, high-stakes operation of diplomacy. One must be ready for anything.
Are you pretending to do a captain's log?
We're all supposed to keep logs.
Okay, let me listen to it.
No, go away. Leave me
I
alone.
can't believe you're
No,
wasting
no.
your shore leave on this. Whoa. This is the greatest ship I've ever seen! Hey, you! Green girl! Pump this! Don't pass out. Oh. Sorry. I'm good at exploring strange new worlds and solving space mysteries.
Let's see what I got assigned.
Holodeck waste removal.
That's Klingon prison stuff.
Ensign, do you see a captain's chair in your future?
I hope so, ma'am. Hey, if I part my hair like this, do I look more promotable or less?
The Cerritos might be falling apart, but that's our job to keep it together.
Ensign, you are a natural-born warrior.
Okie dokie.
And we're here?
No, we're actually way down here.
Keep it moving, Lower Decks.
Next.
My senior staff are always up for a challenge.
Nothing like a cold beer after a smooth second contact.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah!
We are so getting fired for this.
Attention all decks! Lives are at stake, but our crew is ready and focused.
Ooh, this is the new shuttle with the blast shield. It's a blast
Stop it.
shield,
No,
it's a
this
blast
works.
shield. And
Yeah,
it
it
comes
works.
down and it
You
goes
don't
up.
have to.
Blast
Stop it.
shield.
Stop it.
We live on a spaceship.
Space, the funnest frontier? Long-range sensors have located a very sexy...
Oh, no!
Definitely no to this, and also that.
You almost phasered me!
Calm down. It's set to. It was set to stun.
Right, there we go. It looks quite good. What do you think about it?
When I started seeing first pictures of it a month ago, I didn't look impressed. But I've got to admit, when you sent me that trailer, I did quite like it. Funny enough,
Yeah, I thought it looked quite
there's
good.
something in there.
Definitely. It certainly feels like it's more in canon than it has in the last two series that we've got. I think I could watch this. I think we'll have to definitely have to check it out and see what it's about.
I think it's one of them things. I think that you'll probably like. I think it's one of the things you might not like the first couple of episodes, but somewhere to be something in there which you will
keep you
quite
going.
like about
Yeah,
it,
keep focusing on.
into it. Yeah, I think there's. I feel there's something in there. I don't know what it is, but there's just something there.
No,
and
exactly.
it seems quite adultish somehow as well.
Yeah, it's definitely more accessible. It feels like The Simpsons or something. It feels like it's not just a complete kiddie show. So I think I'll give it a watch. Like I said, I'm not a big animated fan really, but I definitely want to give this a go. And it felt like the actual artwork and the graphics. It does very much fit in the Next Generation era of Star Trek. Even things like warp speed has got the proper warp stars rather than that weird warp that you got in Discovery and Picard and things like that. And as a self-confessed geek, I like canon. And this does feel like it really does fit in with Star Trek canon which of course a lot of the issues with Discovery and Picard haven't done. So yeah, count me out. I'll count me in. I'll give it a watch.
Yeah.
And we can discuss it. And it's only out next month apparently, so it's not long. And it's something new to actually watch as well, rather than us delving into our archives of stuff, because there's nothing to watch which is new. Which of course is one, and of course there's going to be a big void as well, because even the few shows that we're waiting for, production of Picard has stopped. Production on, well, I don't know when Discovery season 4 would have started, and of course Strange New Worlds as well. So yeah, we'll give that a watch. Looks good to me, and hopefully it'll be something which we'll both enjoy. I think that's it for news, isn't it? Unless there's anything else before we move on.
I know it's done. That's it. We've done the news.
Right.
Yeah.
Brilliant, excellent. Let's go into our focus of the week. Here we go.
It's
The Solar Sci-Fi
focus of the week.
All right, so this week we return to Doctor Who. We have already done the 6th Doctor a while back, and what we're going to be doing, not in order obviously because we've gone from 6 to 3, is having episodes focusing on Doctor Who in a respective regeneration of a Doctor. One of the things I like about Doctor Who is in many ways Doctor Who, and I keep saying the word Doctor Who all the time, so Doctor Who, is really, with each new Doctor, it's almost like a different sort of spin-off, or within the same universe. I think of a new Doctor as in many ways like a new Star Trek series. And so we thought that we'd go into one of Martin's favourite Doctors, which of course is John Pertwee's 3rd Doctor. So was he the first Doctor? Tell me about what we thought about him and your impressions.
For me, he was my first Doctor, yeah.
Okay, so you saw him at quite a young age, did you?
Yeah. He was the first Doctor I grew up with.
So what did you like about him? What was it? Was it because he was the first, or what?
I don't know. When I was about 4 or 5 at the time, it was on Saturday nights, and it just come out in colour as well.
That's right.
And we just got a colour telly, I remember.
Oh, okay.
And I used to, as a kid, I used to sit and watch it with my parents. I used to think him and the Brigadier protected me from all the monsters.
Right.
You know, and I just found him exciting. His gadgets, his vehicles.
He was a very gadget man, wasn't he?
What is it? Venusian karate. He was a bit of an adventurer. I loved how he dressed.
Yes.
I just love that style he had with velvet jacket and the cape, and he looked like somebody had just been let out of the madhouse, you know, at the time. Real eccentric. Yeah. And I liked, and he spoke so much sense with all these politicians, and because at that time there were a lot of politics in
there is Doctor Who. Yes, there is a lot of politics,
especially like the Green Death and stuff and all that.
Yeah, the environmental issue.
All there because you know, and you get all these bureaucrats in, and he's calling them stupid and the rest of it. And that's what I loved about, like with the Sea Devils when they attacked that naval base, and the what is it? The Solarians, when Brigadier goes and blows all the entrances up to keep them all trapped there, and he's right annoyed at him because you don't know anything else here, Brigadier, but just to blow things up, you know.
Well, the Sea Devils is the only episode which was filmed near Portsmouth. It was filmed, I know exactly.
Oh, right. Is that
so,
why that...
Yeah. So when you see, because you've got these sort of weird sort of there's like naval sort of bases in the sea, which looks like they come out of the sea and they're circular.
Yeah.
And they're in that episode, and it's the only episode I ever remember where Portsmouth was nearby, and I recognise some of the buildings there and stuff. I know where that is. For me, I liked the 3rd Doctor. I mean, talking about what you were saying, I mean, he was the first one to start to really wear extravagant clothing, partly because it was the first one in colour. And of course, as it went on, the clothing in some Doctors got really, really over the top. 6th Doctor, just mentioning him. But I think for me, it's interesting what you said about how politics and stuff was kind of not shoehorned, but it was in the background.
Yes,
but the thing is, what made it, because they did this, was because the Doctor was stuck on Earth, and he was the only Doctor in the whole history of the franchise where he spent a couple of seasons where literally he really couldn't leave. He was working for Unit. Unit was set up, and I heard that they did this because they didn't have the money to make all the planetary sets and everything, and all the monsters. And so they kept it on Earth to save a lot of money. Apparently, it was a money-saving scheme, which is why they did it.
Yes, yeah, I read that a few years back. But when he did go to space, they did put the money in, like the Monsters of Peladon and all that.
Yes, and the Curse of Peladon as well.
Yeah, the Curse. Oh, yeah, the sequel. Yeah,
had a
the
sequel.
claws, like the claws of Axos, with the ship and the Axons, and I just think there's some classic episodes in there. I love the Three Doctors as well.
Yes,
with Omega.
Yeah, Omega. Yeah.
And of course, I'm going to have to say it, the best master ever.
I was about to say that. That was the whole,
yeah.
I mean, I actually Aileen was my favourite master because I like the 80s era of Doctor Who. That was the era I was growing up. I was slightly younger.
Well, that was his best friend, you know, in real life.
Oh, you're joking?
Yeah, they were very close because they've been acting, over years, and he died. He had the car.
I know. Yeah, it was. I mean, the thing is, if that had been the case, they could have actually had two masters or something. If Aileen and Delgado were friends, it might have been a really. But it was awful because now he died during the John Pertwee era. But his story. Luckily, his story. I don't know what happened with his last episode, but he was disappeared at the end of the episode, which he often did. And then, of course, his character wasn't brought back until the Fourth Doctor as this disfigured, burnt-up version of the Master. And it was such a shock because he was really the villain of the piece for John. And they did have a very good chemistry off each other.
Yeah, well, they did. Well, what happened after his friend died? He wanted out after that because it was a very family-orientated set, and I think she wanted to leave as well. You know, Jo.
Yeah, Jo, Katie Manning.
Katie Manning. And when the people sort of leave, it was time for him to go. I was gutted when he left because I think he should have done. You could have got another 2 years at least. But he liked the environment he worked in with the Brigadier and all. They were like a family. You know?
Yeah.
And I think things come to an end. You move on, don't you?
That's the whole point of Doctor Who, though. It's about moving on. And sometimes it's good to leave while you're still on quite a high. Whereas, a lot of people think that Tom Baker was in his role for too long. So obviously we're focusing on the Third Doctor, but just briefly ask, how did you feel when he was replaced by Tom Baker at a young age? Was it something which you just didn't want?
My parents separated. I think why John Pertwee holds a lot for me as a kid. My parents separated when Baker came into it in Regeneration.
Oh, really?
So I think as a kid, that's why...
you imprinted on that?
Yeah, that's why Pertwee means a lot more than all other Doctors.
Okay, well, I can understand
For me, as a kid, but I was in tears because I just love Pertwee. I did manage to meet him.
Oh, did you?
Back in the 90s at a convention. Yeah, I was volunteering at a convention in Leeds. And I did get to meet him, yeah.
My mum met him, apparently. He was in Roehampton or somewhere, and she saw him with a newsagent, and I think she recognised him, and he sort of said, "Oh, I know you," and I think they didn't sort of talk much, but he kind of sort of winked and sort of like, "Yes, I know you know who I am," kind of thing, and apparently he was just a really nice person in public. He
was a comedy genius. I think he always wanted to be taken as a serious actor, you know, and he never, because he looked so eccentric.
Yeah, but he ended up in things like Words
I
of
mean, if
Damage
you
and
walk down the street and he want fame, but he was walking about, you're going to look at him.
Of course you are.
And think, because there's something weird about him, and he was just so cool. I mean, when I saw him, I met him as a kid at one of them country fairs.
Right.
When he was touring country, I didn't speak, and I sat in the Hoomobile, but we're all queuing up for it.
Yeah,
remember that flying
yellow one.
weird car?
Yeah. Was it yellow? It was silver. It was a silver thing.
I think so. Yeah.
And it looked half car and half hovercraft.
Yeah, and it could fly. I sat in that as a kid, but he was touring country in it, you know.
Yeah.
But I did meet him in late 90s, and he was on with Sulu, actually.
All right.
And he was so nice. He was so funny. He came out on stage in alt gear.
Yeah, I know he used to
opened
dress up.
door.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that is dedication, that, for me.
I know. He had that really nice personality. And I think I remember when he died, I was really shocked when he died.
Yeah, there was something about him where you looked at him and thought, he's a good person.
Yeah, you could just
something
tell.
Decent about
and
him.
Did you ever see the Noel Edmonds gotcha? He got gotcha'd once on Noel Edmonds. And
he
was good in that. He was good in that. And he didn't realise he'd been gotcha'd. And you could just tell even from then he was a nice guy. So
as a doctor, he was a bit of, they used to call him a dandy, didn't they?
Yes, the dandy. That's right.
When the villain were gonna like do the evil sort of agenda, he'd come in there and he'd stop it.
Yes.
But there is something interesting which fascinated me. And I've got to admit, I've watched it numerous times. The Planet of the Spiders,
right?
Because there's like a prediction with him that this is the end for you, and it's like this fear. He's got this fear of regenerating in it. In the Planet of the Spiders, because it's the end of his journey, and it's predicted with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting
and
how
he's scared about it. He's actually scared of going to that planet
because he can tell his destiny kind of thing. And that was the first time. Well, because we had the Patrick Troughton regeneration, which was a bit weird because he kind of like didn't get. He was sort of spun around, and it was. But this was to me. This was like. Well, no, the William Hartnell regeneration was good as well, but this was a good one because you could tell that his end was coming, and you had that character who said that they would help him regenerate into a new form. That's right. So he had some issues, but it was good. It was good. It was a good ending for him. And Sarah Jane Smith, of course, was in it as well, and she was good as well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she was lovely. It's just I just love his episode. I never get bored of it, and the story writing is absolutely like I watched one a couple of weeks ago. Kronos.
Time Meddler.
Yeah. No, not the time. It's the one where they go to Atlantis.
Oh yeah.
The master. They meet. There's that godlike being called Chronovores or something.
Yeah.
And that was just spectacular. I mean, the storylines and they were just crazy and very highly intelligent stories.
Yeah, brilliant. Very well written. Absolutely. I certainly agree about that. I might actually delve into one later on. I watch it. I mean, I've got 80 episodes.
I would.
Yeah.
It's. But there was some great. I'm gonna watch. Actually, I think I'm gonna watch Spearhead from Space. Actually.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to watch.
First one. I might start watching them all again, actually. Something about them that appealed to me. I don't know.
It's the era, it's the music, it's the acting, it's the... Well, it's like... That's what I love about Doctor Who. Every era, it stands out on its own. That's what makes the series so magical. You can go into the 60s or the 70s or the 80s or even the TV movie in the 90s or the noughties or the 10s and even, it's still carry on. So it's an amazing series.
Well, ITV had a challenge for it. They created their own sort of version and it only ran for a couple of seasons. The Ace of Wands.
Not heard of that one.
I'll send you it. It's all on YouTube. They tried to sort of copy it. It would obviously want a timeline, but it was all colourful. It was set in 70s, and this guy with psychic powers investigating weird stuff with his assistants. They tried, but it didn't quite work.
No.
And I think we should cover Ace of Wands at some point. You're going to find it fascinating. But they replaced it with the Tomorrow People.
Well, I heard of that one. Yeah, I know the Tomorrow.
Yeah, that was terrible. I mean, it's fantastic viewing, but it's so cheesy.
Yeah, I mean, I've never saw that
for 9 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those series that you mean to watch, but you never get around to seeing, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that John Pertwee's era was very good.
Something magical.
Yeah, I was looking at all my DVDs with all the John Pertwees on there. I think it's in 24 stories. I've got a bit of information about him here on the Wikipedia.
Is that all the what? 24 stories altogether?
Yeah, he was in. What does it say here? Because it looks like it's in more than that. But each episode, some of the episodes were 6-parters and stuff.
But that's why you think like there's so many more, and there ain't, because it were a 25-minute episode each week of one story.
Yeah,
and that's why you sort of, whereas today it's like you get everything in 60 minutes now. But back then it were 25 minutes till next week.
That's it. And it's soon. I mean, it soon mounts up. I mean, he was in 5 series, and he was in Doctor Who from 3rd of Jan 1970 to 8th of June 1974. 5 series, 24 stories, 128 episodes.
When I first bought, when VHS came out, they released a couple of episodes before you could buy them in the shop. My local video library, they had Tom Baker and the Cybermen. This was first time on video, and they had John Pertwee, Spearhead from Space, and I'd not seen Doctor Who in years because we'd only just got a video recorder, and I rented both of them out because I'd not seen them since I was a kid. This was like mid-80s, late 80s. Yeah. And I remember watching I forgot all about it, watching Spearhead from Space. But what was interesting, they turned it into one big movie.
Really?
On VHS, there were no cliffhanger. Instead, it just ran straight through, and I watched it, and it must have been 3 hours long.
I was going to ask you, would you have preferred it if Doctor Who, in whatever release they could have done now, rather than actually still having the episodes with the cliffhanger and the usual sound effect and then the end titles, and then do you think it would be better if all the stories were full stories?
It's a difficult one because when I watched that on VHS, I loved watching it like just straight for nearly 3 hours.
Like a major sort of film.
Yeah,
or something.
2 hours straight. But yet when you get a DVD and they're all separate, that were a thing for video. I think you've got to stick with original thing.
You think so for the cliffhangers and the end
What would you
titles?
prefer?
I don't know. I was asking you the question and asking at the same time. In some ways, if it's like the end of an episode, then you could like go back the next day and watch part 3 or something. Whereas, but if you pause it in the middle of it, it's kind of like, when do you think is the? So I don't know. There's pros and cons to both. If you fancy just sitting there watching a big story, no interruptions, and just that's it, you're just plugged into the TV watching it, literally like not a zombie, but you're entranced with it, then it's nice to watch it in one full version. But if you want to sort of like say, I'll watch this a couple of parts tonight and watch the other 2 tomorrow, then you get the end titles and everything and the cliffhanger. So I don't know, there's pros and cons. I don't know, because the episodes are quite long and the stories are quite long, especially the 6-parters. So I don't think like a 4-hour story in one big chunk would be brilliant. I don't know. It's difficult one, but it's a good series. So yeah, how do you want to sum up the third Doctor's era in Doctor Who? How do you
For
feel?
me, the greatest of all the Doctors.
Really, he's the number one out of all your Doctors. Brilliant. Okay.
Is he for you or are you?
No, I like him, but I don't. Like I said, each Doctor Who fan likes different Doctors. I like the 5th Doctor. I have to say I do like the 6th Doctor. I didn't like the 7th Doctor very much. I like the 4th Doctor, but I thought the 4th Doctor was in a bit too long. I like the 3rd Doctor a lot, but I for me it was more about him going back in time and exploring rather than being stuck on Earth. Although it's interesting to see that. But that's just me. But it's a good era, and
yes,
I still think you still have.
I think it cemented it. I think after Patrick McNee were great, but I think John Pertwee took it to the forefront more than the other 2.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I think he put it up
definitely.
On that level.
Oh, yeah.
He took it because it were in colour, and everybody were quite
Doctor Who
at the time excited about it being in colour. You know.
And Doctor Who went to a new level when he and I think that quite frankly, if it hadn't been for John Pertwee, we wouldn't have had Doctor Who after the first 2. No. I like the first 2, but I do find it quite tough to watch the early episodes of William Hartnell and Patrick Troughton. I like some of them. But like I said, as I've got older, I'm finding it harder to watch the older ones, the really old black and white ones, so much.
The only is that I watched War Games a couple of months ago.
That's good, but it's about eight parts or something. It's a really long thing. It's a bit hard to get through.
I've heard that they're trying to colour that up, apparently.
Well, I'd love it if they colourised the whole of the original series.
Yeah, I've seen a clip of it in colour. It's only a minute clip.
There's a colorization, colorator, I don't know what the term is. Yeah. And he does classic Who clips, and they look brilliant. Yes. I'd love to see classic Doctor Who. I mean, not classic. I mean, the first 2 in colour. I know it shouldn't matter, but I just find it being black and white. I find it quite a bit harder to get into. Which I
to be honest, I know I'll probably get shot down for this. I'm not that really bothered about the the first two.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't grow up on them.
Yeah.
For me, they were before me. I've watched it all.
I've got them all.
But I find it hard work getting through them.
Yeah, I find it hard work getting through as well.
I don't know why.
I used to find it easier watching them, but I mean, I like the episode, the last part with William Hartnell, the 10th Planet. I thought was all right.
Yeah, the Cyber.
I like the very first episode where it all starts off was really good.
I loved it about that. When he turns and they go, well, who are you? He says, we're travellers in the what is it? The
fourth dimension. Yeah.
Time and space. I love that opening line, which is superb.
Yeah, I mean, the pilot of Doctor Who was really good. I mean, we'll cover William Hartnell and Patrick Troughton in future episodes. But
definitely.
He had a great start off, but like I said, to me, it's a big hole, isn't it? It's such a huge thing.
Yeah.
And like I said, but thank you for that. It's great to talk about John Pertwee. And I think the next one we're going to do in a few weeks' time or several weeks' time, because I want to stretch them out, is I thought we'd jump to New Who and do Peter Capaldi next, which will be a good one. So we'll look forward to doing that. Martin, thank you for that. Now, we've got about 5 minutes recording time left. So do you want to do the Cancel Nay, or have we got time to talk about that in 5 minutes?
What do you want to do?
Well, it's only Automan. Well, no, we could do Manimal.
Also, we can do Automan, yeah.
Yeah, let's do Automan, and just do a quick one, and then we'll wrap up. So let's hit the jingle and just quickly go into the ideas for that. Cancelled? Nay.
I can hear lots of static.
It's here to stay. So Automan, I can't remember how it ended, but it was this character who
it
got cancelled. So it's just a standalone episode when he finished. And from what I understood, he had this. Wasn't he a detective that worked with him? And he had this computer where he could manufacture this computerized entity called Automan. What do you think it could have happened?
Do you know what his words are when he comes and beams out in front of him?
I think it's a cursor or something, didn't he?
No, he don't. He turns around and says, hello, I'm your new friend and I will help fight crime and I'm good. I'm perfect. Also, man, is the biggest wanker out there. I detest that fucking show and I'm going to finish it. Also, man, right? We move on. Also, man's been helping the copper, right?
Yeah, he's been helping the copper, yeah.
So whatever, and he got sacked, right? Because nobody else could see fucking Automan but him. Right, so Automan, one day, the internet catches up with him and somebody hacks into him and switches him off and we never have to see him again.
So that's the end of it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a short one, wasn't it? That was a short... Mind you, it wasn't exactly... 5
minutes. I mean, well, what do you want to do? It's
I think you're right.
Auto Woman. So, with big breasties and Auto Woman and like, suddenly they're having auto sex and
creating lots of pixels.
Yeah, but also man gets a job in them because she nags at him all the time and he has to get a job.
What about Auto Boy?
Well, Auto Kids. Well,
Auto Kid, that sounds good. Auto Kid.
Auto Kids. Well, I don't know. They're like moody, like teenage, like just whinging on all the time because like they're just like hanging around on TikTok and selfie stuff, like and Automan. Well, he's got a drink problem now.
Auto vodka.
Well, where do you want to take him?
No, I mean this has been the shortest one, but like I said, Automan is not really a series where you can do a thorough analysis and
where do you go with it? I mean, he finds crime and he comes out of a I mean, no way he could create that, right?
No,
with a shitty computer and even got a megabyte on it. It uses a what they call them discs used to put in.
Hard drive, floppy disk, yeah. 7-inch
I mean,
disc.
that's going to create that. You know what I mean? He comes flying out of your computer. Hey, I'm perfect. I'm Automan, and I'm everything.
But how is Automan supposed to reproduce if he's only got a floppy disk?
Well, he creates another floppy fucking disk, doesn't he? And creates Auto Woman, and then they create Auto Porno movie where him that created him is watching.
And he keeps posting about his hard drive.
Yeah, sure. Do you want to see my hard drive? Do you know what I mean?
Do you want to see my 7-inch floppy disk?
Yeah, she opens her server and he goes in there and autos it.
And gives her plenty of RAM. Right, we're going to finish now. We're going to leave.
7 auto kids. And
God.
Remember that episode of Rimmer where he has all them kids?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's what happened to Automan in End.
Well, there we go. We're going to leave now with John Pertwee singing I Am the Doctor. That was a really bizarre one. Thank you, Martin, for another really interesting show. We'll be back next week where we're going to review a big one, the Orville. So we'll look forward to talking about that. Thank you, Martin. We'll catch you next week on the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast. Laters.
I cross the void beyond the mind, the empty space that circles time. I see where others stumble blind to seek a truth they never find. Eternal wisdom is my guide. I am the Doctor. Through cosmic waste the TARDIS flies to taste the secret source of life. A presence science can't deny exists within, outside, behind the latitude of human minds. I am the Doctor. My voyage dissects the course of time. Who knows, you say, but are you right? Who searches deep to find the light that glows so darkly in the night? Toward that point, I guide my fleet. As fingers move to end mankind, metallic teeth begin their grind. With sword of truth, I turn to fight the satanic powers of the night. Is your faith before your mind? Know me. Am I the Doctor?
Thank you.